All right, AI government contractors. Welcome to another Tuesday live. Welcome to another Tuesday live. I typically like to know who is in the house, and you can let me know in the chat. That would be fantastic. Today's live is going to be centered around breaking down government solicitations. And yeah, I'm going to allow some people to still come in. But while that's going on, I would like to know, by the way, Lena, are you in the school community? If you can hear me, by the way, let me know in the chat if you're in the school community. All right. Yeah, we're going to be starting at 7:25. You're not in the school community. Okay, listen, the school community is no longer free, but you can sign up for the free trial. Join the school community and you can send me a direct DM. Oh, you just found me today. Welcome. Hi. Whereabouts in Canada are you, by the way? Are you in Ontario? Yeah, I would like to know who's in the house. Like you can just give me a short introduction. Just tell me who you are in the chat. And guys, oh, you're in Vancouver. Okay. Yeah, if you can sign up to the school community and send me a DM, perhaps I'll be able to connect you with someone who is more versed on Canadian procurement. I know it's weird. I'm in Ontario, but talking about US procurement, but that was done through pretty good partnerships. Okay, guys, we're 7:22 on the clock. Now, has anybody been writing proposals with AI over the past week? Has anyone even attempted it? I would like to know. You went to a procurement meetup and you were the only one there. Well, I'll tell you this. My experience with the Canadian procurement has been kind of shaky because one of the things that I noticed is that the government don't have their own website where the details of the contracts are displayed. Now there is the Canada buy sell. You can see the solicitations there, but if you actually want to bid, you need to sign up to this third party cloud software that is very difficult to use. So that's where I found the bottleneck. With US procurement, it just seemed far easier. But yeah, that was my experience. We're 7:23 on the clock. You're the only one there. Yeah, it seems like the market is just. And by the way, like the Canadian procurement website, they have about 200,000 solicitations. Um, and I don't like to compare Canada and America. It's not like in terms of land mass, of course. Like Canada has lots of land, but like in terms of population, right now SAM.gov just crossed about I think 6.5 million solicitations. So just kind of going where the opportunity is most. By the way, this is a new camera setup. I received lots and lots of comments saying, hey, do something about the camera. And now something has been done. Is it possible to start procurement in the US this week and start bidding? I don't want to flat out say yes, like it's that easy. Um, but the truth is, if you want to do something like that, we can help you. We do have a one-on-one program. We can help you with the LLC. We can help you with the signing up for sam.gov. So I think the best thing that you can do for to get the best information is to DM me. Maybe we can set up a time to chat. Okay, guys, we're at 7:25 on the clock, and yeah, I'm going to like to get into this today. We're going to be talking about how to understand government contracts in as little as 1 hour, even if you are new to it, using AI tools. Now, today I'm going to go through a bit of the presentation with the slides, and then I actually have a solicitation that I would like to break down using some of the principles that I would discuss today throughout this. And by the way, I want to make it clear that I'm all in. I'm all in on artificial intelligence tools in government contracting. The other day, I got a text message actually. Someone sent me a solicitation where the government verbatim, literally, they said they do not want the use of AI in bidding on this contract. I'm going to dig deeper into that solicitation. I'm going to bring it to the channel because one thing that I want to make very clear is that when the government have a specification, it's going to be in the solicitation. One of the things that we are not going to do is make up regulations and make up obstacles that stop us from doing the work. And because one solicitation has said, hey, listen, we don't want AI to be used in the process of procurement here, doesn't mean that it's the same for all the solicitations on sam.gov. So let's get that clear. Again, I'm all in on AI, and I want to have a group of people who are also all in, because being lukewarm causes a lot of problems. When you're all in on something, you're able to get the best out of it. By the way, let's move into this presentation. I have a quick question for you. If I could show you how to break down and understand your government contract in as little as 1 hour using AI tools, even if you're completely new to it, okay? And I could give you the prompts to do it yourself, would you be interested in learning more? So if you would be interested, just throw a one in the chat. Just let me see a one in the chat if you would be interested in learning how to understand any government solicitation in as little as 1 hour using ChatGPT and having the prompts so you can go and do it by yourself. This is not about you always having to come to me. This is about me passing the skill on to you. So I like to see a one in the chat. I see a one in the chat there from Lena. Is Lena the only person that I'm talking to today? I know I see more people. Oh, I see Michael. Michael, thanks for stepping up, man. Michael, if I could show you how to use artificial intelligence tools to break down any solicitation, whether it's on the federal level, whether it's on the state level, whether it's on the municipal level, but you could have a system, a process that is reliable. I can see that you agree. Okay, Grace, thank you for that. I'm seeing a one in the chat from Grace. Grace, Michael, Lena, at least I know that there are three people that I'm talking to today. Okay, cool. So that's what we're attempting to accomplish today. And these are the takeaways. These are the takeaways. Number one, you're going to learn how to break down a government solicitation. Okay. I'm going to show you how to do this in a systematic way. Then I'm also going to show you how to ask targeted questions. See, I could give you a prompt and the prompt could generate information. However, you might look at that information and say, hey, there's something in there that I don't quite understand. And then you need to ask a targeted question, a targeted prompt that would help you to understand that part of the results that was generated. So we're going to be talking about targeted questions. And then I'm going to show you how to organize your information. I will show you how to organize your information such that you are able to see the contract details and use it. Because, guys, some contracts would have 7 attachments. How do you present the information in a way that you can actually use it? These are the 3 takeaways that I'm hoping that you're going to have at the end of this live. Now, guys, I need you to save the date. If you are not in the school community, you need to join the school community to get the announcement on the webinar. This is actually a paid webinar. This is going to be the first paid webinar, and it's nothing serious. I'm going to make the announcement in the school community first before I begin to make the announcement on YouTube. But save the date, 21st of November. 21st of November, it's going to be a webinar, a private webinar, where I'm going to show you some very interesting things that you're going to want to learn. This is extremely beginner friendly. So save the date. It's going to be the 21st of November. Okay. Now, these are the 3 secrets that you must learn today. So from this point on, I want you to listen very closely, because a lot of what I'm going to be telling you today is not going to be speculation. It's based on a lot of the experience that I've had from bidding on government contracts and now helping other people use artificial intelligence tools to also bid on government contracts. There are a few roadblocks or mental discrepancies that we need to address in order for us to use these AI tools in the best way. And that is what I'm going to be addressing today. First of all, why most people fail in government contracting? The reason is fairly simple. This is what I found out. Many small business owners have inaccurate beliefs about the process. Many business owners have inaccurate beliefs about the process. If you want to know what inaccurate beliefs are about, can I see a one in the chat? Throw a one in the chat if you want to understand what some of these inaccurate beliefs are all about. And question for you, actually, what kind of beliefs do you have around the process of government procurement? Have you ever tried to evaluate, like, what do I believe about this sort of business? And are these beliefs accurate? Okay. A lot of business owners believe that they need to be massive businesses and extremely competitive with an insane track record to win a government contract. Right? They believe that the only businesses that are considered for these contracts have some kind of special relationship with maybe a contracting officer. They know somebody within the four walls of the office that would give them the upper hand. I don't know if you have that. If there's anyone in the chat right now that has that type of belief, like if you're honest enough to say so. I've heard this on multiple occasions that maybe you need to know an inside guy in order to win a contract, or you need to be a massive company with insane past performance. And maybe some of you have that belief. You can let me know in the chat. But in reality, the US government have specific goals to award a significant portion of its contracting budget to small businesses, which in the fiscal year of 2023 alone amounted to 178.6 billion. Okay. So, first of all, let's just follow the numbers. 178.6 billion was allocated to small businesses alone. So if by chance, this is the first time you're hearing about government contracting and you had the belief in the past that you need to be this established business, this multinational to win a contract, let's follow the numbers. This is not speculation. $178.6 billion was allocated to small businesses in 2023. I didn't make this up. You can go check the SBA. So you need to understand that there is that allocation first. So if you had that belief, let's reframe this. Let's change that belief. And they also believe that they need to stick to one industry. I hear this all the time. Hey, I've been in real estate for the past 5 years. This is my bread and butter. Hey, Godwin, I've been in trucking for the past 10 years. This is all I know. Man, you wouldn't believe how many trucks I've moved over the border. So this means that if I'm going to bid on a government contract, it has to be a trucking contract. They believe that they need to stick to their industry. But it gets a little bit dicey when you're in an industry where there isn't that much of a need for the government. Remember, this government contracting, this government procurement process is really about, it starts from the needs of the government. It's not like you're building a product and then you're going to the government and saying, hey, I think I have a use case for you with this product. No, they tell you that this is what they need. So they believe that they need to stick to one industry. But in reality, small business owners can bid on contracts in more than one industry. This is what we call the middleman concept. Now, if you really want to learn about the middleman concept, I can direct you to a very good channel where you can. Wes Fisher, he's the guy who talks about the middleman concept in depth. I'm the guy who shows you how to use AI in your government procurement process. And I can tell you this, if you're following the middleman concept, in certain areas where you're dealing with perhaps an industry that you're not used to, but you have to write a technical statement for that industry, you're going to need to use AI to be pinpoint and precise. This is one of the advantages of having AI for your government procurement process. So in reality, guys, small business owners can bid on government contracts in more than one industry. That's an error there. Okay, so ChatGPT prompts that are well engineered will deliver better results than generic and lame prompts. ChatGPT prompts that are well engineered will deliver better results than generic and lame prompts. Look, if your prompts are all over the place, if your prompts are extremely generic, if your prompts don't have those secret ingredients. Now, does anybody remember the secret ingredients that I always talk about? Does anybody remember? That would be really cool. I remember there was one person who remembered the 3 secret ingredients and he actually got a prize for it. Who remembers the 3 secret ingredients to a good prompt? I would actually be willing to wait. One starts with an S, another one starts with a C, and the third one starts with another C. So it's S, C, C. Does anyone remember? I can wait. Like, I can wait. S, C, C. These are the 3 ingredients to a good prompt. I see. Oh, lovely. This is amazing. Specific, concise, and clear. Okay. There's one in there that is good to have, but oh, Grace Johnson, clarity, concise. I'm getting concise, but concise is not the third one. Concise is not the third one. Concise is a good one, but concise is not the third one. So we have specific, we have clear, but there's that one more that starts with a C. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Clarity, concise. Concise is good, but you can also have a prompt that is not concise, that is full of instructions, and it would still be effective. That third one that we're looking for, going once, going twice, specific, clear. There's a third C, going twice. Okay. That third one is context. 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 Guys, specificity, clarity, and context. I'm going to put that in the chat. It has to be specific. It has to be clear. And we also need to have some context. And let me tell you why I'm really being specific about context. Context is important for ChatGPT because that's when you say things like, I am a middleman looking to bid on a government contract. That is different from saying I am a subcontractor looking to find a government job. Creating context in your prompts gives ChatGPT a frame. Think about context as the frame for which ChatGPT can look at your command. This is really important. So the 3 ingredients to a great prompt: specificity, clarity, and context. Don't forget this. Okay, let's move on. And organizing yourself using one tool is better than using a variety of tools. Organizing yourself using one tool is better than using a variety of tools. Now, there's a mental model. There's a mental model. It's called the circle of competence. The circle of competence. Shiny object syndrome is something that is pervasive amongst business owners who use tech to improve their productivity. because every other day a new type of technology is being introduced. We're being told that this new AI is going to help you do XYZ. This new AI is going to help you do XYZ. But when we come back to the mental model of circle of competence, I want you to think about a circle of competence as a set of tools within a particular expertise or a particular area. Think about you being someone who knows how to use chat GPT on a specific level, on a deeper level than a generic level. Think about it like you are specialized on one tool that has all the capabilities for what you need, as opposed to being shallow on 7 to 8 different tools. I hope that came in clear because I felt like I used a lot of words there. What I'm saying is that you need to build a circle of competence around one tool as opposed to 7 to 5 different tools that you barely know how to use. Trust me when I tell you that every other day somebody is DMing me and saying, "Hey, Godwin, check out this new AI tool." But we need to focus on using one tool to an optimal proficiency. And that's why I focus on ChatGPT. Now, how many of you have a tracking system for your bids? Like, if you have a tracking system for your bidding process, throw a one in the chat. If you don't have a tracking system for your bidding process, throw a two in the chat. If you have a tracking system for your bidding process, throw a one in the chat. If you do not have a tracking system for your bidding process, throw a two in the chat. And give me one moment, I'll be right back. Right. I'm seeing some ones coming in and I'm seeing a couple of twos. And from my point of view, it seems like there are more twos than there are ones. Now, for the people who have said, yes, yes, I have a tracking sheet, I have some kind of tracking. What do you use? Are you using Notion? Are you using Microsoft Excel? I would like to know in the chat. And for the people who say two, that you do not have a tracking system, I want to know, are you just kind of submitting bids without looking back to see how many you've submitted or what exactly is your process? If someone can just throw it in the chat, I'm interested to know. Oh, I see Sean. Sean uses Notion. Okay, you're using Notion right now. And Grace, you're using Notion right now. Okay. Anyone using Microsoft Excel? Anybody using Microsoft Excel? And for the people who have said no, I'm curious, are you submitting bids and not tracking? What does that look like for you? So we have some Notion. Okay, wonderful. Guys, the seminar that's coming up is going to be talking about how you can build your own tracking system from scratch using Trello. I'm going to show you how you can actually build that from scratch. So this is going to be the event that we're going to have. You need some kind of tracking system. Wesley, I see that you use Excel. Virginia Stevens, I see that you use Excel. And you only use Excel, Wesley. Okay. Sean, Monday for tracking solicitations. Yes, I've heard about Monday.com. I've never really checked it out, but that's an interesting one. What I have found right now is only submitted 2 bids. Michael, you've only submitted 2 bids in total. Okay. So that's possibly why you don't have a tracking system. I'm guessing that a tracking system would be for a person who is consistently submitting bids. That's when it becomes really useful. But if you've only submitted, let's say, 2 bids in what space of time? Let me just throw out 3 months. then you don't really need a tracking system. But listen, if you have a tracking system, okay, and you're submitting 2 bids every 3 months, it's going to be reflected on the tracking system. And you're going to have to decide if you're happy with that volume. But what I'm going to show you in that seminar is how to build it from scratch. And this is not some complicated kind of system. This is highly beginner friendly. So if you're interested in finding out about the seminar, join the school community. I'm going to be making announcements about the seminar latest by the end of this week. Okay, so let's get into what I actually have for you today. I'm done with all the talking. I'm going to get into kind of showing you the process that you would go through if you want to break down the solicitation. And the solicitation that we have is actually very interesting. If you could tell from the thumbnail, today is more of like a construction kind of breakdown. And I have the solicitation in front of us here. If you can see this, let me refresh. So this is essentially going to be a roof replacement. This is going to be a roof replacement. FCL Low Yazoo City MS. Okay, so first of all, let's check this out. This is a total small business set aside. Wonderful. And the next code is roofing contractors 238160. Okay, and then here we have relatively lengthy description, and we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attachments. This opportunity has controlled attachments. You must sign in to access them. So these 2 attachments are controlled. Let's see, should possibly be able to sign in. Would I get... Okay, let me download the attachments that are available before I don't want to get sidetracked by attempting to get this code. Okay, we're back on track. We have the solicitation in front of us. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to download all the attachments. I'm going to download all the attachments except the 2 that are controlled. And this contract is going to require a bid bond. So that's why I actually picked it, because I believe that we're going to have the ability to ask some direct questions here. And I'm opening up ChatGPT now. Okay, here we are in ChatGPT. Now we can add all these attachments like so. Every single attachment comes in. Now, one thing that I'm really specific about is breaking down my solicitations in a manner that is the same every time. I don't want to come in and today I'm starting off with uh, finding out the submission requirement, and then tomorrow I'm starting off with finding out the scope of work. It follows the same method every time. The reason I do this is because I'm constantly training people on the method. So it has to be the same. It has to be repeatable and easy to execute. So typically, I use the prompts that are within our inner circle, but publicly, I use the beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide because it's a lot more beginner friendly. But if you want to get into using better engineered prompts, join our inner circle. That's no problem at all. But today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be breaking down this solicitation with the beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide. Now, the first prompt with the beginner-friendly solicitation breakdown guide gives us a high level of what is in the solicitation. But actually, one thing I want to do here is, because we have so many documents attached, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to give me a brief summary of each document attached. I want to get a high level of each of the documents that are attached in here. Okay, so instruction for to bidders. It says that this document outlines the procedures for submitting bids for a roofing project at the Federal Correction Institution in Yazoo City, Mississippi. It includes details on bid submission, registration requirements, necessary documents, and pre-bid conference. This bid is due January 8th, 2025. Talk about having some time. But I bet that this is probably a big contract because a roof replacement. So to all the roofers who are in the chat, you should be eyeing this down. But this is Replace Roof FCL low solicitation. So the solicitation document provides comprehensive information for bidding on a roofing project, including the type of solicitation, project details, and required performance period. It also specifies the requirements for performance and payment bonds. And we're going to ask, guys, remember, the prompts I'm going to give you, one, yes, they are already engineered and you can throw them in, but you also need to have the ability to ask direct questions. Let's say I was reading this right now and I'm like, oh my God, man, what is a payment bond? I have no idea what that is. You should be able to, for example, highlight that term that you do not understand. This speech bubble is going to appear. You click on the speech bubble and you ask your question, what is this in simple language? Or what is payment bond in simple language? A payment bond is a type of guarantee that ensures subcontractors and suppliers are paid for their work and materials on a construction project. If the main contractor fails to pay these parties, they can claim compensation through the payment bond. This bond is commonly used in large projects to protect those providing labor and materials from non payments. So, for anyone who did not understand what a payment bond is, I think that this is the simplest way that you could have gotten that explanation. Whoa, we just got a super chat from Tico828. This is the first ever super chat on the channel. By the way, let me just come on screen and say a massive thank you. That's phenomenal. That's the first super chat on the channel. This moment, my friend, you just made history. This is wonderful. I really appreciate that. Let's get back to the tea. Now, if you do not know what a payment bond was, when you're reading through the solicitation, all you need to do on ChatGPT is highlight the term, and then ask the question. Gone are the days that you see something that you don't understand and you say, oh man, the vocabulary, oh my God. If you finished fifth grade, you know how to read. You know how to read road signs. You can read a newspaper. You can go on Instagram and read a couple of posts. Trust me, you can use ChatGPT to break down heavy vocabulary into simple language. This is important. Okay, but I just went through finding out what these documents are about. I also usually, when I see a description of this length, I usually just throw it into ChatGPT. I throw it into ChatGPT, and I just say, break down this text into simple language. as you can see, the prompts I'm using right now are just very specific, very like, hey, break this down, do this. It's very specific. Okay, I'm seeing some things in the chat, but I don't want to get distracted. I really want to finish what is going on here. So I'm going to come back to the chat. Now, let's see what happened here. This is the description. We've broken it down. Now we have the basic information. This is the type, the notice ID, contract opportunity, final date. Oh, it's due on 8th. What's the project detail? Okay, the project involves replacing the flat roof of a building at the Federal Correctional Complex in Yazoo City. The building to be re-roofed is used for safety, personal services, and vocational training, covering 21,500 square feet. It's a big project. It's a big project, to say the least. Okay, so the estimated cost is between 500K to $1 million. Registration required. Contractors need to be on sam.gov. That is, with their MPIN to access secure documents. Break this down in simple language. So this is just the description. We haven't even gone into breaking down the attachments and going into detail. Right now, I'm just finding out the lay of the land, because guess what? There are times where I'm doing this and I realize, oh, well, okay, this is not a contract I want to pursue. And then I leave it and I move forward. I don't spend too much time on contracts that give me a headache when I'm just trying to find out what it is about. But here, we're really going through a smooth process. We're understanding what this is about. It says contractors must be signed up to SAM.gov website and use their MPIN, so their marketing partner identification number, to view important documents related to the project they want to bid on. And I'm guessing just because of the scale of this project, that's why they don't have some of the drawings, and some of the attachments are actually locked until you sign into your account, and that's when you're going to have access to it. So this is more on the bigger side, but I'm going to get into using the prompts from the beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide to begin to break this down step by step. The first prompt is going to give us a high level. This is very simple. It says provide the title, agency, and summary of the solicitation. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to share my entire screen so I don't have to keep. There we go. Okay, so check this out. Replace roof, we know that. Department of Justice, Federal Prison System, Bureau of Prisons. Okay, so the solicitation is for the construction contract to replace the roof of a building at the Federal Correctional Complex in Yazoo City, Mississippi. The building, which is used for safety personnel services and vocational training, needs a new flat roofing system over an area of 21,500 square feet. The project is expected to be completed within 245 days from the start date, and the estimated cost is between $500,000 to $1 million. The opportunity is set aside entirely for small businesses, and all bidding and subsequent updates will only be available through the sam.gov website. So, very simple summary that we have here. And what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to open a Google Doc, a fresh Google Doc, which I'm going to use to begin to collect this information. Now, you can organize yourself with a Google Doc. I'm going to show you in our seminar that's coming up. If you want to find out more about the seminar, please join the school community, because that's where I'm going to be making the announcements. The announcement is going to come to the school community first before I start to talk about it on YouTube. So join the school community. It's $5 a month now. We've done this because we want to get rid of bots. We only want the people who are dedicated to actually learning how to use AI to improve their procurement process. But here we have a fresh Google Doc, and I'm going to grab this and add it in to my Google Doc like so. We have the title, we have the agency, we have the summary. From reading this, you're going to be able to get a high level of what this contract is about. Now, we want to go a bit further and get more details about the contract. And in order to do that, we're going to take the prompting to the next level. So we're going to go into what are the eligibility requirements, the key deliverables and objectives of this contract. And this is going to produce an entirely different result that is more specific, giving us the details of what is in the contract. And again, when you have these prompts, you want to always make sure that you're not just going by what is in the prompt, right? But you're also asking direct questions from the result that you're getting from the prompt. Let's see what we have here. It says the contract is exclusively open to small businesses. To qualify, the businesses must meet the small business size standard according to their registration on sound.gov, specifically under the NAICS code 238160 roofing, which is a size standard of 19 million. So they give you a revenue standard. Sometimes you see that the size standard is a company headcount. They could say, hey, listen, if your company has more than 250 employees under this particular NAICS code, then you are considered a small business. If you have under a certain number, if you have over that number, then you're going to be considered inadmissible or ineligible because you are not within the size standard. So you always want to check the size standard, especially when you are reaching out to subs. Okay, key deliverables. The main key deliverable is to complete the replacement of the flat roof system from the specified building within the Federal Correction Complex in Yazoo City. So the contractor is responsible for furnishing all equipment, materials, and labor necessary for the roofing system. The total area for the roof replacement is 21,500 square feet. Okay, so to successfully replace the old roof with a new system that ensures safety and functionality for the building's uses in safety, personnel, blah, blah, blah. So these are the objectives, okay? Now, I want to find out something. So to complete the roofing replacements within the specified time, so 245 days. Now, what is the location of the sites? Or actually, before we even do that, let's go to the next prompt and let's find out what the submission instructions are like. And because we know that there's payment bond, I'm going to even find out what is the instruction on bonding for this particular contract. So proposal must be submitted by January 8th, 2025. We got that. And then this is the formatting. So the proposal should adhere to the format and requirement. Okay, so proposals should be submitted electronically. All submissions must include all requirements. Okay, ensure that your SAM regard registration includes current and includes accurate business size. Okay, so really very basic, most of the very basic requirements here. And I'm just wondering now, the statement of work itself, we're not able to get that. And this is why we don't have so much detail. I'm a bit disappointed that this was a contract that I ended up choosing because now looking at it, I'm saying I can't get those details from the statement of work, which we would need. But nonetheless, what I'm showing you here is the system of using these specific prompts with the attachments that are in the chat box. Okay. Next time, I'm really going to look in to make sure that everything we have access to everything. But again, you're following this system, you're following this process. You can train an individual on how to use these prompts to get information and give you reports on the contracts that they are reviewing. But I have a question for ChatGPT. What kind of companies can fulfill the work? Now, the type of companies that can fulfill this work specialized in roofing, small businesses, registered as a small business. Okay, so when you ask this question, by the way, this is not the response I was looking for. I'm going to try to rephrase it now. I'm going to say, in general, what kind of companies or what kind of companies usually work on projects like this? The answers I'm looking for are more general, like this: general contractors, roofing contractors. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask ChatGPT to turn these companies into Google search terms with the location of the site. Roofing contractors near Yazoo City, Mississippi. I'm going to grab this particular search term here and I'm going to say, turn this into a Google Boolean string with all relevant keywords. Oh, let's see what happened here. I'm going to copy this Boolean string. Let's analyze the Boolean string together. So we have roofing contractors, we have general contractors, we have commercial construction firms, we have government construction contractors. What you would like to do with this Boolean string is to go to Google, apply the Boolean string, and begin to look for the highlighted keywords that align with the contract and the location. This is the first step to beginning to look for subcontractors. So you're going to use Boolean strings. The process is to ask ChatGPT what type of companies can do this work. Okay, when you get the companies that can do the work, you're going to turn those companies into search terms with the location of the site. Then you're going to turn those search terms into Boolean strings. And you're going to use the Boolean strings to search Google for a potential sub. Guys, look, let's face it. Okay, I'm just looking through the chat now. I'm seeing, okay, what when you have a solicitation due that's far in advance, when would you suggest submission? Hmm, it's a good question, actually. It's a good question. If the solicitation is due 3 months in advance, for example, uh, it's fair for you to submit really. Well, first of all, I would really recommend that you keep up a kind of communication flow with the contracting officer, whether you're asking questions or you're checking in on the process if it's that far out in advance. But the time you submit, I don't think it really matters. If your proposal meets the standards that you're looking for, if it's technically acceptable and it's the right price, uh, the time in advance is not really a thing. Hello, everyone. Hi, Goodwin. It's Godwin. Is your book an A through Z guide, new to government contracting? So the book is really focused on using artificial intelligence to, one, create industry keywords that you could use to search sound.gov and connect to adjacent industries. Two, how to break down solicitations using artificial intelligence tools and specific prompts. Three, how to find subcontractors, whether you're looking at them through from Google, Perplexity AI, or ChatGPT. And then the last thing is how to write a proposal from start to finish using artificial intelligence tools. That's what the book is about. So it's really focused on federal contracting using artificial intelligence tools for people who want to break down solicitations, who want to find subcontractors and write proposals. I hope that was clear enough. Now, yes, the super chat, Grace Johnson, is really about making donations. So as you can see here, we got our first super chat on this channel, which is quite lovely. We're going to be having lives every Tuesday, talking about breaking down solicitations and using artificial intelligence tools in government procurement. But guys, for everybody who is still here until this moment, because it really has been 1 hour. And I've been talking, my mouth is getting a little bit dry, but I do appreciate the time that you take. So, for that reason, I do have a special offer, and I usually do this on Tuesdays. The inner circle is usually $197 a month. For the people who are here right now, I'm changing the price to $125 from now till 12. Okay? You can join. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in the link. I'm not making an announcement about this in the school community. This is exclusively for the people who are currently in this live. I'm changing the cost of the inner circle from 197 a month to 125 a month. And trust me, soon enough, the inner circle is going to be going up to 400 a month. So this is an opportunity. It's only going to be available until 12 a.m. today. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat for anybody who wants to join the inner circle, and I'm going to show you what you get if you do join the inner circle. So first of all, I have thrown the link in the chat. We have the link in the chat. You can go in, you can join the inner circle. The price has been changed from $197 a month to $125. This is only going to be till 12. Okay, let me show you what you get once you join the inner circle. All right, here's the AI GovCon inner circle. Here, you're going to be interacting with like-minded business people who are actively bidding on contracts. And one of the great things about being in the inner circle is that you have this classroom section. This is definitely the most robust AI instruction manual for government contracting for anybody who wants to, one, learn how to pick their industry, two, break down solicitations in a systematic way using AI tools, three, find subcontractors and not be desperate. You're going to have options. You're going to have a method, a system that's going to allow you to talk to multiple subcontractors and not be hung up on one. And of course, the scariest part to most people who are in the game is writing proposals. You're also going to be able to write proposals using artificial intelligence tools. These modules go over them step by step on how you can actually do this. And if you have stayed here till the end, I would really like you to join the inner circle. There are other channels where you can learn how to bid on government contracts. You can go on Kizzy Parks. She's going to show you everything that you need with her wealth of experience. You can go with Wes Fisher. He's going to talk to you about the middleman concept, and he has a phenomenal style of teaching. But on this side of town, guys, I show you how to use artificial intelligence tools to make your process smooth. And if you think or you have the confidence that being in the inner circle is going to help you bid, then feel free to join. But with that being said, it's been a wonderful time. And if you gained anything from this particular live stream, can you just throw a 1 in the chat? If this was beneficial, you gained something, throw a 1 in the chat right before we leave. Let me see my people. Let me know who's with me, all the people that I've been talking to. Wonderful question. Does the inner circle show you how to write proposals? The inner circle is the best place if you want to find videos that direct you on how to write proposals step by step. Let me actually show you this. If you go into this module right here, as you can see, this video, it starts with, this is how it all begins. Then we go to the table of content. Then we go to the executive summary. Then we go to the technical statement. Then we go to the past performance. Then creating accurate pricing models, designing effective staffing plans, building a robust quality assurance plan. every possible section that you could possibly build. You can do this if you join the inner circle. So I hope that answers your question. And thank you. I see a lot of ones in the chat. Don't forget to smash the like button, guys. Like this video so that more small businesses who want to bid on government contracts can get the chance to actually use artificial intelligence tools. Smash the like button. Go register to the inner circle if you believe that this is what is going to take you to the next level. One of the best parts about the inner circle is that we meet every Wednesday to talk government contracting. And trust me, those discussions are actually the highest value of the inner circle, because at that point you sit down with like-minded people, you find out what they're doing that's working, and you can add that to your own business. But guys, with that being said, this Tuesday live has been phenomenal, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I'm signing out. Goodbye.